White linen tablecloths, plates and silver now set the table. In the back of the room is a grand piano, where a musician will play to entertain the group later. This meal tonight is not for the rich and famous or the affluent, but rather for the homeless and those living at or below the poverty level in the southern Fort Worth area. This is the Broadway Baptist Church in Fort Worth, Texas. It's 1 mile walking distance from the Fort Worth City Hall to the Broadway Baptist Church. 14.1% of the population in Fort Worth lives at or below the poverty line. It's 5 p.m. and people are already starting to form a line for the 6 p.m. Agape Dinner. In the past, these homeless and disenfranchised were taken through the back way of the church, but not anymore. Now, every single person is warmly greeted, brought in through the main entrance, the front door of this grand old church.
There's two main volunteer jobs at the Agape Meal, and one is to serve as a table host. Usually, folks don't serve as a table host until you've been here a couple of times, because as a table host, what you're doing is sitting down with our guests at the meal, making sure that everybody has what they need in terms of the meal, and then just enjoying yourself. Eating with our guests, talking to folks, enjoying the conversation. Just imagine inviting 7 new folks in your neighborhood over for dinner. About 2/3 of our guests tonight are probably homeless, either staying in one of the shelters or staying out in a camp situation or something like that. When volunteers come for the first time to serve at a meal where they know it's a meal for folks who are homeless, they expect it to be like a soup kitchen, more of a, coming. Everybody comes in through a line, and we're on one side of a table serving out food, and that's a good, honorable, efficient way to serve food. And if our main purpose and goal were serving as many people food as possible in a night and doing that as efficiently as possible, we're doing a lousy job, because this is a very inefficient way to serve food. But that's because the main purpose of the Agape Meal is to provide an evening of dignity and respect. The purpose of the Agape Meal is more about hospitality than it is about the food, because this is an opportunity for folks to be treated with respect, to be treated like they are the most important people in the world tonight. And so, like I said, the volunteer job of the table host is to invite people in to enjoy that meal together. The other job, which most of you will be doing, is that of a server. So in that case, imagine yourself as a server in a nice restaurant. And so that's what you want to do. You're going to be filling tea glasses, bringing food back and forth from the kitchen to whatever we have seconds of. You'll take that tray back to the kitchen and then bring the empty one back out to the table. We will, at about 6:15-ish, bring out a dessert cart that you can come and get a tray and bring those desserts out to give your guest a selection from the dessert tray. And so your job is to work as a partner with your table host. So be sure and use the hand sanitizer, even if you think you don't need to, because we're handling food, and we're handling food for people who are especially vulnerable.
The hosts raise their hand to indicate there are more seats available. It quickly begins to fill. The food on the table is already there for the guests. They're hungry. It's great food tonight. Ham steaks, scalloped potatoes, salad, rolls, dessert, all you can eat. From Broadway Baptist clothing store and food pantry to the Agape Dinner, I never once heard a single person complain. Each person was immensely grateful for what they had. It seemed it was a lesson to all of us. It's difficult at times to find an inspirational ray that comes out of this often murky existence. But I did see one. It was Philip's 46th birthday, and his table host remembered.
I was touched. I was humbled that you knew that it was Philip's birthday.
Well, basically, what's gone on?
Oh, Tom, come back here.
The table becomes a family. And when you come down that door, you're hoping that this host is here, or you're a specific host,
Will you leave it then?
and there's an open chair. You get to meet new people sometimes, but most of the time, everybody knows each other.
Philip was visibly emotional. He had moved to Fort Worth from Chicago a couple of years ago and experienced a messy divorce. Philip shares that there's not much going on right now for day laborers. The job market is really tight. I asked him to help me understand what a day laborer does. He shared with me a recent story where he had gotten up early in the morning to try to get a day labor job. They were all gone. He wasn't one of the lucky ones, but he was told to come back at noon. At noon, they selected 12 people and told them to come back at 8:30. At 8:30 in the evening, he got in a van and went to a large arena where he picked up the garbage after an event just ended. It cost him $2 for the van ride. He made $12. That gave him $10 left. $9 for staying in the bunkhouse, a run-down men's dormitory on Main Street in Fort Worth. It gave him a grand total of $1 profit. That which he had to live on for food and other essential items. The Agape Dinner ended this Thursday evening. Some people stayed for the devotional, others left. I asked many of the people who sat at the tables if they had enough to eat today, and they all looked at me with a smile on their face, saying, "I am so stuffed, they'll have to roll me out." Dan Freemeyer, the Broadway Director of Community Ministries, is one of the more exceptional people I've met. He absolutely loves his work and the service he provides to the community. In the time I've spent with Dan, his staff, and volunteers, it's made me realize the importance that no child, no adult, no person should go hungry. We're all very deeply grateful to Dan and all of the staff and volunteers at the Broadway Baptist Church.